preparation, there was the plaudits, and then there's the purpose. You see, his purpose in all that was taking place was a cause of reaction. You see, Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. People started to follow him, and you either loved him because he raised him, or you did what? You hated him. You were against him. You either loved Jesus or hated him because he was taken over. And when Jesus had his feet washed by a serving woman, you either loved him or you hated him. When Jesus rides in on a colt, they would either understand him and love him, or they would hate him. And I believe what Jesus is doing in all of this is he's causing you to make a decision, a reaction. He's causing people not to ride a fence. He can ride a donkey, you can't ride a fence. You're either in one yard or you're in the other. You're either in the yard that loves him and embraces him and receives him, or you're on the other side where you're opposed to him and you're not following. But listen, Jim, I don't hate him, I just haven't made the decision. Listen, you're not in this yard yet. You can't sit on the fence. And Jesus is causing a reaction here. He came and lived this life of perfection. He paid the penalty of sin on the cross. He took all of God's wrath. He died. He rose again. None of this was for himself. It was for your behalf, so that you and I could be free. So that you and I could enthusiastically receive him. So that you and I would have to get off the fence and make a decision. There's no fence riding in heaven. And Scripture says, listen, what he's come to do and has done, you need to make your decision now. Because we'll stand before him. And to say, listen, I've got another day, or I've got another week, or I've got another month. That's you playing God. God's the giver of life. And since none of us know the day, the hour, the minute that will pass, the decision to receive Jesus Christ, to get off of the fence, is today, if you haven't already. And if you have made that decision for Jesus Christ to bring him into your life, then the day to recommit, the day to say, listen, he came, and this is amazing what he's done to bring us. I want to recommit my life. Today, April 2nd, is your day. He's coming again. He's coming again. We sang about it earlier, about that he would have this robe, and this is what Scripture says. On his robe, listen, he's going to come this time, and there will be a horse. You can read Revelation 19 tonight, and you'll know he's going to come in a little different than he come in on Palm Sunday. And it says that on his robe and on his side, he has a name written, and it's King of Kings, and it's Lord of Lords. What's your decision for Christ? Here's my thought, my conclusion here today is that he knew that there would be millions of people there that day. Well, let's just take, for instance, that day it was maybe a rainy morning and people didn't feel like going out in the rain, and so they didn't show up. Or maybe they just didn't feel like waking up that morning. They wanted to sleep in a little bit more, and so they skipped the day. Maybe they were, something caused them not to be there. 2 million people aren't there. Do you think Christ still comes?
Yes.
Why? It's his plan. What did he come for? Did he come for you? I hope you know that. Hope you know that he came. He would have come knowing that before the foundations of the world. When he looks in and he sees that no one shows up, he would still come for you. He would come and face this week that we're about to step into here in remembrance of. He would face that week for you. He would come. Lowly and humble, a servant, he would lay down his life for you. The only thing I can think of is do you see him? Do you see him? Do you see him in your life? And if you see him, have you received him? And if you've received him, listen, are you there all in with him each day, or are you letting things just get you further away from Christ? Would you just come back to him? Don't let this, as if I just visualize him riding up the aisles of our church here. And do you see him? Or will you let him pass and miss him?